Welcome to the WMMA Today podcast with Drake Riggs and I, Steve King. We have a really good lineup going this week. Bellator 257 recap, UFC Vegas 24 recap, quite a bit of news, some good news going on. And then we will preview UFC 261, such a massive card, and two women's championship fights featuring two of the best champions in all of women's MMA. I know y'all are hype. Drake and I are hype about especially about one of them. I mean, I think we're hyped about both, but more so one of the title fights. And if you're a regular here, you know which one. And that will be basically the last thing we talk about because I think it's gonna be crazy. I think we want you guys to chime in on it, what you guys think, and then of course Twitter questions. We will get to those, and if you are watching this live, as always, post your comments. We will talk about whatever you want to talk about in MMA, in life, whatever you want to talk about. It's all good, baby. So let's get. That's my Biggie impersonation.
There we go.
Let's get started with the Bellator 257 recap, where Rita Ortega beat Desiree Yanez by majority decision. It was a good one. We knew that this was going to be a really good fight, and it was a really good fight.
That it was. Man, I mean, we knew that it would be a good fight. Turned out to be a good one. And a surprising one, though, because Vita showed up. Vita showed up.
Championship caliber fighter. I mean, she literally fought for a title.
Yeah, that she did. And, man, she made the improvements. We said back against the wall, came in here, wasn't going to let the newcomer, give her another L. So she came out and looked very, very good. Maybe the best she's ever looked. And, the fight was competitive. It wasn't like she completely outclassed Desiree or anything, but she was a step ahead pretty much most of the time until, the knee, I guess you could say, in the second round. And I do think that Desiree just edged the first round, as did one of the judges who had it a draw because of that illegal knee in the second round. But yeah, I don't know. She, in terms of Yanez, I think she looked still good, but maybe the inactivity was an issue there. And, the commentary, as much as everybody seems to hate the Bellator commentary, they were really pointing out her lack of head movement and kind of defense, which...
Well, the thing about Yanez was she was like moving back. She wasn't moving side to side. There wasn't a lot of head movement going on. She wasn't moving her feet. She was standing still and going backwards. You can't leave your chin up like that. You can't leave your chin up. You're going to get, especially against a little firecracker like Rita Ortega, you're going to get clipped. And that's what was happening. Like at the very end of the fight, Ortega was taking over. Even before the knee, Ortega was on her shit.
Dropped her, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she looked really good. Ortega looked phenomenal in this fight. Not that Desiree Yanez didn't, because for a Bellator debut, and Ortega, former title contender, very difficult matchup for her in her Bellator debut. But she held on. I mean, majority decision. It's not like she didn't lose wildly.
Yeah, she put up a fight, obviously, and Vita always brings the fight to you. So
it's just that she stood tall and left her chin wide open, and her hands and her fist low and her chin high. And you can't do that. You're gonna get fucking hit like clean, and that's what was happening.
Yep. That was pretty much the story of it. Vita just landed kind of the better stuff consistently and ended up controlling in the spots that needed to be controlled. And I think it's a really good learning lesson for Desiree, obviously. And she'll be back, no doubt about it. But
yeah, for sure. It's not like she got her ass whipped and she didn't belong there. She belonged there. It's just that Ortega is a title contender for a reason. You know, I mean, it was a difficult debut for Nunez.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But Vita,
So
man,
welcome everybody.
everybody.
We see you guys. Welcome, and yes, exciting show, Ghost Phantom. Sammy, excited because of Zhang and Namajunas, of course. Hello, James. Greetings, Rain. Hi, Ro.
Always.
It's going to devolve into Kana talk eventually, I'm assuming.
Let me just say something about that, you guys. In Kana, I stand. Rain, we got SCMP to change the topic to Kana. Yes, you guys did. Even inner,
hell of a job.
you did.
Doing that.
Fantastic.
I ended up going in there. I don't know if you guys saw me. Drake and I were talking about this off air, like right before we came on. I was in there as MMA Inc. I was in there with you guys. I was standing Kana with you guys.
Oh man! And then even on MMA Fighting, Between the Links, found me over there right away. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Rue who started it off just instantly. Man, I could not believe that. You guys are amazing. This is my favorite thing. We got to keep this going for as long as possible because Kana is clearly the future, and I will hear no other bones about it. So great job, you guys. Love you.
Absolutely.
So, Ghost Phantom chiming in here about Desiree.
Yeah. She needs to work on her positioning when striking. Yep, exactly. She was moving backward, very, very stiff like. And I mean, she wasn't moving side to side. She wasn't bouncing around. You can't do that, especially against a little Ortega who's everywhere. You know, very, very movement. You know, she moves everywhere. Her head movement. She's very active. Nunez was not.
Yeah, I just don't know if she kind of expected Vita to come in that sharp. Like we obviously didn't, but
yeah, I don't think that she expected that either. But again, like, dude, she fought for a world title, and she did very well.
Yeah, no, she. I remember giving the first round to her. When it went to the third round, yeah, it was tied up. I think going into that third one. So
yeah. And I agree, Sammy. That was quite the test for Nunez. Ortega is legit, man. Ortega's legit in a very good division.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So.
Do we see her fighting for a title soon?
I don't know about that, man. The division's just
yeah, maybe not after the Nunez fight. She needs to fight somebody else. Maybe Keyholtz if she doesn't get the title fight.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see Porto maybe. That would maybe be a good one.
Ali Malay again.
Ali Malay rematch. I don't know. Yeah, there's options, but
there's so many options in that division.
Mandy Bohm, depending on if she wins her next fight, which is not in Bellator. I think that might be this week. I know she's got a fight coming up here in Europe, but yeah, man, I don't know. She looked great. She's definitely she should get a pretty solid name next, I would imagine. But
yeah, she got a newcomer in Nunez, newcomer in Bellator to Nunez, and
a well-hyped one though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if you haven't seen her already fight before that, she looked. I think in her fight against Super Melly and Combate, that was probably her showing out fight. You know, for people who watch MMA on regular, who watch literally every kind of MMA, it doesn't matter what the promotion is. That was Nunez's best fight to date, and that's probably the fight that got her a call to Combate. I mean, to Bellator.
Yeah, and sometimes too, it helps. I think at least with the fans, in the case that she was in, where most people will agree she was robbed for sure. That gets the support behind you and kind of, like wants justification to see what else you can do despite that ridiculousness. So
yeah.
What is up, Stamina? He is in the house. Sorry to cut you off.
That was unfortunate for Desiree Yanez, but it's all right. I mean, she's in Bellator now. Of course, she would probably like to be the champion in Combate rather than not fighting for a title yet in Bellator. But I mean, Bellator is the bigger promotion, the more known promotion for now. Combate
Yep.
is still kind of a small promotion, but they have a really great following in Latin America. Of course, they have TV deal with Univision, which is the biggest Spanish speaking television uh, channel in America, in North America. So Combate is coming up, and they're doing weekly shows, and they're doing their shows in Miami out of Univision's headquarters in Miami. So they're coming up too. And then we saw a great fight. Speaking of Combate Americas, we don't have it on the schedule, but we saw a really fun fight with
Lucero? Is that it?
Lucero. Yeah, yep. She's a maniac, man. She's wild. She's a wild one. She's howling and then she gets the win by fucking knocking her opponent silly. She's crazy. Love that girl. She's marketable as fuck too.
Indeed. All right, but to some non-marketability in terms of a fight that played out. Goodness gracious, we didn't expect this. Did you end up watching it, Steve? I saw you.
I did end up watching it. I went back and watched it just to see how bad it was, and so that I can get mad all over. You know, I like getting mad at stupid shit. Yeah, Julia Budd looked like crap.
Oh man, this was maybe one of the most disappointing things I've ever seen in MMA. a fight that should not have been nearly this competitive whatsoever, and a fight that I think Julia should have lost. Like, I scored it for Silva, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that hurts me. That hurts me to know that happened.
Yeah, well, it did, and I mean, that was kind of the talk on social media, on Twitter too. Like, what the fuck happened to Julia Budd?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know, because, you know, we should give some credit to Silva too, because she did land some, good strikes, and she ended up getting pretty predictable and kind of throwing the same shit over and over. Yeah. And Julia didn't really do too much about it. But the thing, didn't do anything. Right? So, but the thing is here, like, Julia, where are the takedowns? Like, she did go for one in the second round, but that was like it. And we saw how much success she had. It's like, it was just kind of super surprising, like, just a weird, unfortunate performance. In a fight that never should have been made, but then she makes it look like it was justifiable, like, so, I don't know, just a fucking ridiculous. And yep, exactly what Rue says here.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a joke. Silva was supposed to be a steamroll performance for Bud. Yeah, well, she wasn't, and I mean, like Drake said, I had Silva winning as well. That's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. And I mean, this would have, and arguably should have, been like the biggest upset in Bellator history, like, easily.
It would have been, like, because what is it? 2 fights ago, Julia Budd was the champion.
Yeah. Yep.
And now a very good one.
Still ranked number 1, rightfully so. The third best featherweight in the world. Like,
I don't know about that anymore, man.
Yeah, I mean, jeez, just upsetting. Like, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything more we should say about it.
Well, what happened to the Bud that fought Cyborg? Well, Cyborg.
That was kind of the same one that we saw here
Yeah,
tonight.
Cyborg beat
Or
the Cyborg beat the shit out of Julia Budd.
yeah.
So
She
I
showed
think
up
I think
again.
we're seeing the same Julia Budd. To be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's just forget about this. Let's move on.
Okay. Emma says he still has his Kana banner since last week, ready to wave, as everybody does.
Attaboy.
I think.
Right
Rain
here.
is Rain is waving it proudly. Oh, sorry.
All good.
Rain. Oh, Rain also says Julia just lost all her lateral movement. Yeah, she was pretty stiff. She's kind of like Desiree Inez. It was weird, man. It was weird. Former champion
but worse, maybe.
Against a worse opponent, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
So it's we'll see what happens next. And I know that I didn't actually throw it in the mailbag because I knew it was about this fight. Was it Juice asked about this, or somebody asked, do Bud and Zingano next still? Right? Was that one of the questions we got to group it in here?
I don't know. Was it?
I think somebody asked about this, and
it
might actually be in the mailbag. So yes, it is. That was Alex. My bad. So we'll get to that.
Oh, that was one of Alex's 3. Yeah, that's at the very bottom. So we'll get to that, I guess.
Yeah, we'll save that. All right, let's get out of here.
I agree with Ghost Phantom. Bud versus Cat. I think that would be the fight. I think we wanted that fight anyway.
Yeah, that was already the fight.
Yeah, that was the fight. So I think that's the fight to make now. It's the one that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Now, Juice asked about UFC stuff. That's what it is. So on to UFC Vegas 24, where Steve and I should have some very interesting conversation, I imagine. So let's get into it. UFC Vegas 24, starting off with the flyweights.
All right. Well, Tracy Cortez beat Justin Kish by split decision. There was a 30-27 in there, a 28-29. Crazy, all over the place. Judging. Yeah. Again, Tracy Cortez did come in half a pound overweight.
Surprising.
Yeah. Well, she's not surprising. She's thick.
Yeah, but we've talked about how flyweight is the weight, and she's been there before, and I guess going back down from bantamweight, right? First time back down, so
yeah.
I guess there's that.
But she also had an issue with the doctor, not letting her lose that half pound.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Yeah. She said that in the hotel room, she wasn't. They stopped her from losing that half pound like an hour before weigh-in.
Interesting.
Rue says Tracy with them magic eyelashes. It's like they disappeared after she won.
Well, let's talk about that, Steve. About the win here. Very competitive fight, and it looked kind of how I expected it to, except I do think Tracy did probably better in the striking than I would have expected her to. She landed some good shots. It was fairly even, but man, I don't know, just in the second and third rounds in particular, because first round was very clearly hers. She got that takedown, was doing work, but I don't know. I just thought Justine had more effective shots, and she knocked her down in the third round, but one judge didn't even give her that one. But I thought Kish won the last 2 rounds, man. I thought that she just edged it. It was close, though.
I can see why people would say that Kish won that fight. It wasn't Cortez's best fight, that's for sure. Right. But I think that she did the most damage, I guess. So that's why.
Kish?
No, Cortez.
Oh, okay.
In the eyes of the judges, and that's why she got a 30-27.
Right.
I don't think that she should have gotten a 30-27.
Yeah.
What round did Keish win? 2 for sure, right? Like for sure 2.
Yeah. I mean, with the knockdown, I felt like round 3 was
Round
pretty
3.
comfortable too. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm fine with the decision. Keish, she's a scrapper, man. She's a fucking scrapper, dude.
She was in shape for this fight too, dude.
She was
Jesus.
in phenomenal shape. Yeah, she was in better shape than Cortez. Not
Shredded.
hotter, but in better shape than Cortez. Probably
Yeah.
there ain't nobody in the UFC hotter than Tracy Cortez, by the way. Ghost Phantom says, got to say Cortez has some good takedowns. Yes, but she didn't disguise them well. She just went in. She went in.
Yeah.
And, you can't just keep going in. Just because you're a good wrestler doesn't mean that you can just go in. I mean, you like you said, disguise. You have to throw a jab and go in. Throw a jab and go in. I mean, you got to do something with it. You just can't go. You just can't expect because you're a decent wrestler to get a single leg or a double leg.
I love when Steve gives us demonstrations. Show him what's up. All right, we got Sammy here agreeing with me a bit.
I also thought Justine won, but props to Tracy. She had some positional advantage throughout the fight. Yeah. She was on top of her a little bit. And I mean, I think that's probably what won her the fight. I don't know like what the judges think. Like I said, that 30-27 shouldn't have happened. I'm okay with the 29-28 going for both of them.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah, either way, it's fine. It's fine. But now that Tracy Cortez did win the fight, I would like to see a bigger name for her. Maybe the winner of De La Rosa and Lipsky.
Okay. Yeah, that could work. We'll see what they think after this. But I mean, I guess that leads us to Rain here asking about how does she fix her weight issues, and I see Stamina kind of chiming back there. But I don't know if I'd say issue yet. And
it wasn't an issue. It wasn't an issue. It was like she literally said it was an issue with the doctor. She
not giving her a chance. Yeah.
Not giving her the extra chance, or she went into the weigh-in 20 minutes prior to when the final to weigh in. So she could have even weighed in and went to the bathroom or something. And she literally said, I could have pissed a half of a pound.
I bet that they did that because of Stoliarenko. They were just kind of worried, you just never know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. What are you talking about, Stamina? Not hotter. Yes, hotter. Nobody's hotter than her.
No, I think he's saying, like, just to be clear, like, he wanted you to, like, he's quoting you saying that.
Oh, did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore.
All right, this is interesting. I like this one. I think I like this one the most.
Oh, God, dude.
I knew you'd hate it. That's your bittersweet one right there.
I didn't even think about that because I don't want to think about that, I don't think. And that hits my heart. Like, Mazo and Tracy? Fuck. I don't want to see either of them lose.
I don't think we'll see it because Mazo just lost. So,
and especially not against each other.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that the winner of Lipsky and Montana and De La Rosa would make sense.
Yeah, and I do like James's suggestion, but I think that's top 15. I don't know if I'd say top 15 next after that close fight. I would say
not yet. Yeah. Maybe one more fight. More fight. Yeah.
Especially just getting back to flyweight too, So
Right.
So yes. And even you could throw Marina Moroz in there, who
That's a tough fight, though, man. I don't know if they
yeah.
want. I don't know if they want to do that to Tracy.
I just miss Moroz in action. It feels like it's been forever since that Bueno Silva one, which I'm pretty sure it has been. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know if they want to do that fight with Tracy, though. Kind of like the Amanda Hebus thing, very marketable. They don't want to see them lose.
Right.
She has the Latin American audience for sure.
Yep. Very, very true. So, all right. Let's move it along to the other and final fight from the weekend, everybody. She is back, and Loopy is here. Take it away, Steve.
Yeah, so Jessica Penne beat Lupita Godinez by another split decision. As you can see, 29-28 there for both ways. Penne took two of the judges' scorecards, and she ended up beating Loopy, who had some amazing slams. Oh my goodness. I was like, dude, this is fucking phenomenal. Like, she power bombed the bitch. Like, she fucking, like, I was literally thinking, like, oh my god, she pulled a Sid Vicious fucking power bomb.
The old Kevin Nash jackknife.
Yeah, dude, like, how crazy was that? How crazy was it? It wasn't even just one time. Like, that was the biggest slam, obviously. But, like, she threw her. She fucking tossed her. Like, you're throwing a bag of trash into the dumpster. Like, I was like, holy shit. How is she doing this?
Yeah, that could not have felt good. Could not have felt good for the whole spine of Jessica. But yeah, no, this was a fun fight. It was obviously, I think, more competitive than we thought it would be.
Yeah.
But man, that's the thing, that Jessica Penne's flexibility and like ability to take the back is so fucking underrated, man. Everybody forgets. Easy. It's been forever since we've seen her, but like she's done that shit to so many people. And
Such a problem. Such a problem.
yeah, it's insane how she can do
But
that.
you have to have somebody. But you have to have somebody like
That's
Loopy,
that stature. Yeah.
who's just gonna let her fucking do that. Like, crazy. Like, you would think that she would have been like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm gonna use my range and try to keep her off my back. It was funny because Penne was like, she went to the ground and she was like, let's go. What the fuck? No, why would Lupe do that?
Yeah. So it was yeah, I think that they both obviously had their moments, but as Ghost points out here, as much as I adore Jessica Penne, I truly do, and I've shared a special moment getting to share her story when she opened up about her anxiety issues a couple of years ago, getting to share that story. I did think that Loopy did enough to get the win.
I think so.
Was it round? I don't remember specifically here, but yeah, I gave Jessica one of the rounds, obviously. 29-28 is the right score for either one, but yeah, I do think she did enough. She obviously didn't look as good as she could have, like James pointing out. He expected better striking from her. I mean, she was more effective with her striking. It was kind of the story of...
She was definitely the better striker in the fight, but
yeah,
I mean, there was a lot of time where Jessica was on her back.
Yeah, in strong positions, exactly.
Yeah,
not just
like literally backpacking her.
She was getting close to a rear naked too. Like those hand fighting was fun to watch.
Yeah, that's another thing that Jessica is overlooked on, is her hand fights.
Yeah, that's when the experience comes in huge. So that's very impressive that Loopy was able to, survive in that position. So
yeah, it didn't seem like she was getting overwhelmed. It seemed like she was getting a little bit anxious, like pissy about it, but not overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. So, Rue loves the Sanda, you know that, or the Sanda.
The Sanda, yeah, they were Sanda takedowns. Amazing, just fucking amazing, dude. Love to see that in MMA fights. We don't see it very often.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
Especially with the girl. Girls don't do that. Typically, they don't throw their opponents like that. Typically,
yeah. Yeah. Very true.
like she showed how strong she is.
Yeah, man. I mean, we knew it was possible, but like, yeah, you never expect to see that kind of shit. So,
Dude, she literally powerbombed the girl. Like, my mind was fucking blown with that. That was the best. That was the best part of MMA for me over the weekend. Were those throws?
The best for you, yeah. Yeah, they were nice. They were very nice. Rain chiming in.
Yeah, I agree with Rain. Some missed opportunities for Loopy. The rear hand was there every time Penne moved to her left, but it's hard though. I think when you're in the moment, like us watching, obviously, you're like, well, why don't you do this? But it's hard when she's actually on top of you. It's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Sammy, how could we miss it? How could we miss it? She's like, ow, that fucking hurt.
Yeah, dude. She was shocked. She was legit shocked by getting powerbombed.
Crazy, man. Like, just like, all right, no triangle for you. That was something.
That was my favorite moment in a long time in MMA. Like, a very long time. Like, I get hyped for things, but holy shit, dude. Like, I was literally thinking about it all night, and then like when I woke up the next morning, I was still thinking about it. Like, I was like, dude, did we just see that? Like, holy shit.
Imagine if that was like a knockout that way. Like if she hit her head on the mat. Like,
oh my god.
Jesus.
Oh my
knockout
god.
of ever.
I think she hit her she didn't even hit her back. She hit her butt, right?
It was kind of like lower back-ish, yeah.
Lower back butt. But like, yeah, if she would have hit a little bit harder and hit her head back, dude, that would have been fucking insane. That would have been like knockout of the year type shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Rain says, my thing with Loopy was looking for a rear hand but seemed gun shy. I just think that it was inexperience.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to criticize as we're watching. It's hard for a fighter when you're in a fight. Like, you don't think about all these things all at one time, especially when a girl's on your back, when a fighter's on your back and has her legs wrapped around you like a fucking boa constrictor. Like, it's hard, man. Like she had a lot going on there. I'm just shocked that she was able to hold on.
Yeah. Very, very true.
Like, I thought that Jessica was going to get the finish eventually.
Yep, so did I. But still hangs on. Huge comeback win. You really, even if you disagree with the decision like I did and I know Ghost did, like, you just can't help but feel amazing for her, dude. Like,
yeah, it's a good one. I mean, I actually thought that we were going to argue about this, but
I know you did.
It's a good one. Like, it's a good feeling for Jessica after all that she's been through. She's been out for a fucking long time, man. And her hug at the end with Dominic Cruz, like, you could see how happy she was. Her interview, her post-fight interview, smiling, laughing. You love to see that kind of shit. No matter if you like Jessica or not, or any fighter or not, you like to see a fighter happy after being out so long and all the shit that she's been through. Like, she's been through a lot, dude. She had a GoFundMe set up for her because she was not doing well money-wise.
Well, because she was accused of doing something she didn't do.
Right. Like, she was out of a job, basically. Like, USADA took her out of a job. Kind of like the Nick Diaz thing. Except...
yeah. Not as long.
Right? I mean, Nick still hasn't fought. It's fucking, 6 years later now?
Might be more than that. Jeez. But
yeah, I don't even... When was Nick's last fight against Anderson? What year was that? 2015?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so
years, yeah.
Right. Yeah. But all right, people asking, where does Penne go from here next? So I think what will happen will be kind of gatekeeper role a bit, which sucks. But just considering where she's at with the age, and despite coming back and getting a win over a prospect, it's like I'd be surprised if they did anything crazy aside from that with her, especially in this division. But I will say I want to see her take on kind of like maybe some other more notable veteran names that she hasn't fought yet. So here's the fight that I want.
Like who?
I want Jin versus Penne. The former atomweight champs. Give me that one. I see somebody saying Penne versus Rue says Loma. No, don't do that. No.
That would be a terrible fight. That would be a terrible fight for Penne.
I mean, Penne could beat her if she got her down, but on the feet, that's not happening.
She can't beat her, dude. I mean, she can.
That's what we said about Lupe.
I guess if she backpacked her like she did.
Yeah. Same body type, or if not smaller.
I think if you're putting Lupe against Loma striking, Loma is better.
Right. That'd be a great fight, though. I really like that matchup.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
But wasn't Penne scheduled to fight Hannah Goldie?
Yes. Yeah, they could
just do that again.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Yep. Hey, man. Penne could surprise us. Fountain of youth late in the career. That'd be awesome. That would be great.
She's been out for 4 years. I mean,
and not from injuries either. She had the rolled ankle that one time.
She had the ankle thing.
That was it. So
yeah,
we'll see. Yep. Fry versus Penne though. That's my next pick. Yeah, Sammy. I like that. I would hate to see either lose. It's another one of those cases, but like, how do you not do that? How do you not do that?
Well, I think at the stage where Jen is at now, it would be a good fight.
Right.
It would make sense. The fight would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Stamina says Corey McKenna.
That's tough, man.
That's what I'm saying in terms of like the gatekeeper thing. Like that's green fighter versus some serious experience.
That's extremely green. That's extremely green.
That's like, I think that's big danger for McKenna because I mean McKenna, I don't even think she beat Kay Hansen, and I know
exactly. that. And she even deserve the contract?
It's like great prospect, but there is such thing as too soon. Like that's the thing with her. So.
Right. And I do think that we would see in a second fight for Jess. I think that we would see a better one. And
right.
Yeah, Corey McKenna would get work, dude.
Yeah.
That jiu-jitsu. Look, Penne is phenomenal. Really, really good. As we saw, like her dude, she was fucking a boa constrictor. she's gonna do that against anybody like McKenna or even Jen. Jen, she would probably lose to Jen or beat Jen too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably take her, man. You underestimate that flexibility and the way she can get on you. Ghost. I see Ghost doesn't appear to be a fan of Corey.
Maybe give it to Corey. She said in an interview she's ready for the top 3. Oh, wow. Really? The top 3?
Pena talk.
Yeah, that's outrageous. That's wild. What the?
Some confidence there, but...
Yeah.
All right.
Stupidity.
Those are your recaps for the weekend, you guys. UFC Vegas 24 and Bellator 257.
Good fights.
Overall, Bellator, awesome show. Killed it. Best show of the week. And I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent stuff there. But, all right, as we move on, Twitter mailbag time. Let's open her up. We just got 2 in here. As I believe I didn't put in Juicy's and there was another person because I think that we covered it just naturally. So Twitter mailbag, Ghost Phantom dropping one in there before the show starts, as he does. Appreciate it, my man. Mm-hmm. And I just want to say this too, Ghost, before we open your question. I know you sent me all the questions for Whaley. I just have to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to get to do all of those. I know for a fact. So please, I don't want you to be upset at me when I don't ask all of your questions. So it's It just won't happen. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Not by my own doing, but unless I get one-on-one time with Whaley, which I doubt, which I would love, but it's probably not gonna happen. Anyway, let's get into it now. Here we are. Steve, he's got kind of
So
big combo.
they all go together. So I'll read it and then we'll go one by one, fighter by fighter. Why is there always a narrative with Zhang Whaley about her race ever since her first title fight? First one versus Andrade, made for the Chinese market, and then versus Joanna, brought COVID from China, and then now versus Rose, represents communism because she was born in China. Let's go back to the Andrade thing, made for the Chinese market. I don't think that that's as bad as the other two.
No, definitely not. But I think that answers his question right there. The Chinese market, kind of the entire.
And honestly, that's not a problem though, because I mean, they did the same thing with Brazil, with like Jose Aldo and Shogun Rua and Anderson Silva, and not as much with Amanda Nunez, unfortunately. But and not Chris Cyborg either. Not the females. Go figure. But definitely with like Jose Aldo for sure. They went hard with Jose Aldo going into Brazil, like hard. And then Anderson Silva was another one. Shogun, not as much, just because he was already like a champion in Pride, and he was kind of hitting the twilight, closer to the twilight rather than Jose Aldo. He was like prime. Jose Aldo was the man, like legit the man.
Right.
Pound for pound best fighter in the world at that time, at that point. And I think that the thing with Whaley, with the Chinese market, they have the PI. They want that market. They recognize, the UFC recognizes how big the Chinese market is. They built a PI for a reason. It's not just because there's a few good fighters out of China. No, there's fighters out of China who are legit as fuck, and the fans watch every fight.
Yeah, very, very good points. It's just like it's when something is new, right? People are either going to love it and be super excited about it, or try and find, they're going to be hipstery maybe and find the reasons why we shouldn't be so excited for it, which essentially kind of leads into the things you point out after this Ghost.
So with Joanna, she did the COVID thing. Yeah, she brought it over from China. Put up a picture, right?
Yeah, no, she did a meme. So
I mean, yeah.
not to defend Joanna exactly, because I did think that was kind of a silly thing to do. But in her defense, that was an admitted joke that she did say sorry about and admitted it was wrong. Unlike
Rose,
next
where Rose doubled down and tripled down and fucking she threw all the chips in on that shit. She was given an opportunity. Rose was given an opportunity to backtrack a little bit, and she was like, you know what? Fuck you guys. This is how I feel. I'm Lithuanian. I'm come from Lithuanian descent. I watched the documentary. Whaley is Chinese. She's there for the red. She's clearly a communist because she lives in China. Clearly communist.
There you have it. So, yeah, it's
silly.
That's the best way to put it. I think that Ghost, and you finish it off with, the second question there. Why can't they see the fighter that she is? I think that they do. People. It's just you can't avoid it. You can't avoid that. But like I said, when you have this huge huge in terms of market value, for the UFC specifically to milk that bad boy. And just something, this wave that is so powerful in terms of the talent,
Yeah.
all that stuff. It it scares people, maybe the competitors in particular, like, oh damn, we're they're gonna take over, and we've been seeing that, Zhang and Whaley together,
Yeah.
just the quickest of rises. Like when I pointed this out on Twitter after what was it? Who fought recently? Was it Mackenzie Dern? Yeah, when Mackenzie Dern got her win, and it put her winning streak, or yeah, her winning streak up to what, 5 now, right? 4 or 5, and then it showed who was in the lead, and above her was Whaley and Xiaonan with 11, and it's like, dude, they put those 11 fights together in like 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That shows you just a glimpse of this progression from these fighters over there. So,
So good.
and it's only gonna increase, which makes people get crazy, I guess. So,
Yeah, I think it just unfortunately, for Whaley, it came at the the whole virus thing came.
that definitely didn't help.
The
No.
whole virus thing came while she's champion, while she couldn't fight. The easiest way to get people to forget about anything other than fighting is to fight
Yep.
and to win. She was out for a year. We're going on over a year now where she hasn't fought because of a pandemic, a global pandemic that shut the whole fucking world down. Of course there's bigotry. Of course there's racism. There's sprinkles of racism and bigotry. There is. That's clear. That's very clear. When you look at social media, it's very clear that there are those people. But I think the biggest thing about it is her inactivity. Because like I said, if she was to fight, people would watch her fight and they would love the way that she fights. Maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will be the one that opens people's eyes. Again, Joanna gave her a very tough test. People saw Joanna beating her. So there's a little bit of that in there too. Joanna's a love champion, whereas Whaley is a new champion. So there's a bunch of variables that are mixed into this whole Whaley equation. I hope that Whaley really puts it on Rose. I'm not going to do my pick yet, but I really do hope that Whaley shows out and says, and just puts on a great show that fans will love, so that they can all forget the bullshit that's coming along with this fight, because right now it's been a couple of weeks of pure bullshit for that girl. Like, it sucks, dude. It fucking sucks.
Yeah. No, I think that is totally fair to have that hope for it, just because this is the thing now. But before this, we were talking about like the Tyson nonsense with the the shitty media, and like before that, obviously,
Dude,
the Corona stuff
it's
throughout.
been a few weeks for her, but it's building up. It's building up. It's building up. We're here in fight week now. It's kind of quieted down a little bit for now. We'll see when media starts getting in there what's going to happen. We might get some stupid ass stories, some stupid ass clickbait headlines during fight week, because that's going to be the talking point. There's definite clickbaity things that they can use for their own advantage during a fight week.
Yeah, very, very true. And that reminded me.
Fans are back. It's a massive card. 3 title fights with Jorge Masvidal and Valentina Shevchenko, Cameron Usman, who is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. And then there's Whaley, Jessica Andrade, a former champion, Rose Namajunas, a former champion. Like, there's a lot going on this fight week we'll see. We'll see what where these publications where they go with their headlines.
Yeah, absolutely. And that reminded me actually that Whaley might be actually have some kind of statement or some comments to that she'll be saying soon about this. Actually, I've heard.
I hope so. I mean,
So
I hope that she calls bullshit on this crap. You know, like just
yeah,
tries
well,
to tries to put an end to it. You know.
I think that probably the idea or hope behind her addressing it in that kind of format would be to be like, all right, guys, I don't want this to be the thing during the
Hmm.
week. I don't
Yeah.
want this to overshadow all of this. Something like that. If I was to predict kind of where the idea behind that. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yes, Rain, got the scoops. So we'll see. We will see what happens. But I wanted to go back to this question in here real quick before we move on to Alex's mailbag question. Where is it? What do you think about this one, Steve?
Is Whaley as disrespected as Volk right now? I think that Volkanovski is disrespected only because it's Max Holloway that he fought twice, and people saw Max Holloway winning. Whether we think that or not, many people think that Volkanovski lost those fights, and Max Holloway is a beloved champion. Like he's beloved by people all over the world. So
Yeah.
Volkanovski has his own thing going against him, and it's Max Holloway, the love for Max Holloway, rather than the way he fights, and that's unfortunate. That really is unfortunate for him.
Yeah, so I was kind of scrolling through. I didn't read it fully, but Stamina I think kind of ethered the same comments as you there, and I get that. I totally understand that side of thinking, especially in terms of Volkanovski. But when it comes to the disrespect that Whaley is getting, it's I would say more from I guess fans and pundits. Like everybody keeps bringing up to us how everyone's underestimating Whaley, the other media people, and
Mm-hmm.
people with their nonsense other takes on it. So
Right.
like
Right.
it's very different types of disrespect, but in terms of which one is worse, I think Whaley's is more offensive probably, but Volkanovski's there's more of that overall probably because there's been more time to do that for him, I guess. So I don't know.
For Whaley, it's more offensive, like in a humanity sense,
Right.
rather than just a fighter sense. Um, I mean, she's had one title challenge. She Joanna, and that's it.
Yeah.
Volkanovski has fought Max Holloway, a former champion, twice, and a lot of people think that Max Holloway won those fights, at least one of them.
Yeah, no, he definitely lost the first one.
But a lot of people
But,
think the second one.
yeah, right. Right.
Yep.
So,
And he's beloved. Like the entire MMA community adores Max Holloway. Like he hasn't given anybody a reason not to. Not that Whaley hasn't either. Has, but it's a little bit different with Max Holloway.
right. Very, very true. So, all right. Let's move on to Mr. Behunin. Dropping one in here. Dropping multiple as he does. Damn near. Was it 4 this time?
Is it the
Jeez,
4?
he's
I saw
psycho.
3 for sure.
Oh, he always does the 3. Never mind. My bad. So,
All right, so sort of at the top, do you see the UFC trying to market Tracy Cortez like they do Paige Van Zandt?
nope.
I think
Nope.
that they are aware of the mistake that they made with Paige Van Zandt.
I don't know about that, but the reason I say no is because 1, they would have already, and 2, if you actually do think about and look back to Paige's start, she actually had some super exciting and, you know, like very cool, good performances in terms of finding a finish and just
Yeah.
dominating, relatively dominating against the competition put in front of her, which was, you know, probably lesser than Tracy's in comparison. But the way that her performances looked were a lot more aesthetically pleasing and flashy, kind of, for them to sell that along with the looks and all that, you know, the youth and that kind of thing. So Tracy just isn't. She just isn't that kind of finisher fighter. You know, she's
Yeah.
good clearly and gets wins and, you know, has a very strong skill set, but it's just different. I don't think
She needs
I
to
don't
find
think
the
they're
finish.
comparable.
She needs to find the finish.
Yeah.
She needs that
I don't even
one.
remember what her last finish was, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. She needs to find that big finish, you know?
Yeah, that would be very big for her.
Yeah.
But so, all right, and then the next one he's got here.
If Valentina and Whaley Zhang win this weekend, do you want to see them fight next, or Valentina versus Amanda 3? I think you guys know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I think
I-
we've discussed this a bit.
we really discuss this. I would rather see Valentina and Amanda 3. I think that's the fight to make. To be honest, Valentina has ran through her division. Amanda, you know, I mean, she's a double champion. A trilogy fight against Valentina would be massive at this point. Huge, dude, huge.
Yeah, no, there's no denying that. And the thing about the number one reason that I don't want Valentina and Whaley, especially after this, is because the strawweight division is just insanely loaded. Like
Yeah.
you cannot. It has been held up enough already because of the bullshit negotiating for this past year. We can't have this going forward. We cannot do this again, please. There's too many people coming in. Like look at where we were at UFC 248. Well, Mackenzie Dern was probably around 13, coming off a loss from Hebus. Now she's up to number 5, and rightfully so. Like that's how much madness is happening in this division, where everybody's so fucking good and can jump up at any given moment. You cannot stall it. Let Whaley defend and be attempt to be the GSP of strawweight, which is going to be fucking hard. Which I want to see those challenges taken on.
Can you imagine?
Gosh,
Can you imagine? Whaley versus Zhang.
Please, MMA gods,
Can you
please.
imagine? If that fight ever happens, which I think it will,
Yeah,
it has to be in China. They have to do it in China. It can't be anywhere else in the world. It cannot be anywhere else. Can't.
no. And even if let's say Whaley drops the title, and then I guess even if Xiaonan was to lose to Carla or something, you still make them headline a fight night. You got it. Why not? Why wouldn't you? You know, there's still ways to make it happen when it's not as big for the title, but obviously we all want that. We all want that. Come on, who are we kidding here? So, and then as for Valentina, with the Amanda side of things, or I guess just mostly Amanda, it's like she's clearly running out of people, as we will get to. So, yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
They've both kind of ran through their divisions at this point. So the third fight, I think it makes complete sense.
Yeah, especially if Valentina beats Andrade and then Lauren Murphy. I want to see Lauren Murphy get the title shot she deserves. But
I mean, okay, yeah, she deserves it, but it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again.
It'll just build that trilogy even bigger, dude.
Yeah, but Amanda is going to fucking retire at some point.
Right.
Like Shevchenko is, she's going still. Amanda, you can see the end for her.
Yeah. So, man, everybody's all in on Whaley versus Xiaonan. I love it.
I mean, it
You want to
makes
say
complete
that?
sense, and it has to happen in China if they ever do it. Like,
Yeah,
it can't be in
undeniable.
fucking Vegas. It can't be in that fight can't be in Vegas.
Man, you want to talk about what would be one of the biggest misses in UFC history if they didn't make this fight happen in China? Like the Colby versus Woodley for the title. That's one of the biggest misses that they've ever had.
Yeah.
And they're lucky they still got it at all when it was a super watered down version, but holy shit, if you miss this one, like yikes. Yikes. But yeah, Rue likes the comment there. Oh, and then yeah, we
Could
could
imagine.
James for sure.
Yeah, we definitely can imagine.
Yeah, man. So Rue likes the potential for Whaley. She does. She definitely does. But
Here's the potential.
easier said than done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, GSP is so great. Like he's
Yeah.
literally Mount Rushmore great.
Exactly, Rain. That would be just stupid. That would be so
In Abu
stupid.
Dhabi, yeah. In Abu Dhabi.
It's funny too because they'd both be like, "What the fuck is this?" Come on, come on, guys. They should request it to be nowhere else. Like, don't take the fight unless we can make it happen in China. Man, that would be. Oh, I gotta be there for that. I know. I got my 10-year visa ready to go right before the fucking pandemic. I was gonna go February 2020. Trip got canceled. I'm all ready to go back to China. I'm gonna make sure I'm there for that. Fingers crossed. Okay, but Alex has one more question, and as we alluded to
Yeah,
earlier,
we kind of talked about this already. Julia Budd versus Kat Zingano. In the meantime, while Cyborg fights, we talked about this last week that they should have fought already.
yep.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think put it on the same card, Cyborg Smith too. Why not?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, even though
Last week
Bud,
too.
yeah, even though Bud did not perform how we would have, as she should have, if we're going to be totally honest. No disrespect to her, she didn't really take that much damage, like still. And I know that is short notice, but Cat took no damage at all. So why not? Why not book it there? At least around it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But that's clearly the fight. That is clearly the fight.
yeah.
So good stuff as always, Alex. You are the
Thank
man.
you,
Thank
Alec
you.
Bahunin.
And Ghost for the pre-show cues as
And then
always.
did you see Head Kick Audio Steve's question?
It was I did. I think it was about if I don't add them, it's because they're attached to like things I already have on the lineup. So what was it?
Tracy Cortez and Valerie Loretta fighting each other. How would it go?
Oh, I guess I did miss that one. That's a terrible question. I saw somebody ask that also on Twitter, like just a tweet from some random guy and it got a bunch of traction.
That's where he's getting it from. He
Okay,
tagged me
yeah.
and he tagged me in that thread, and he was like, Steve K MMA would _MMA would be the winner if that happened. And I mean, I fully agreed. Tracy Cortez and Valeria Loretta, dude. I don't think I would
There we
sleep.
go.
I don't think I would
There
sleep.
you go. Kind of beats both.
It's possible.
Yes, and listen to Stamina, everybody. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Yeah, no, that is far. It is far too soon for Valerie Loretta to beat somebody like Tracy Cortez. I think, especially the style, the wrestling alone. The pressure that she would.
She only has 3 fights.
I know it's that. We know why that guy tweeted that. We know why Steve's marketable fighters. Yes, but in terms of where they are at in their careers, that would not be a smart fight to make for Valerie. So
It would be terrible for Valerie.
yeah, no, not good. Kind of Army Unite. You goddamn right, you guys.
She would be so fucking hot though.
Well, maybe one day. We'll see. All right, on to the news. It is news time. And boy, we got... Oh, I forgot to actually put a thing up for that one. Fuck, we have a lot. We have a whole... Yep, I agree. I agree, Rain. Why are we talking about Valerie and Tracy when Kana is more awesome? Yeah, I know, dude. I don't know. People are weird. They're not on the program yet. All right, big news, Steve. I'm curious to hear about your reaction to this. We have a date for one of the best boxers on the planet.
Yeah. So Clarissa Shields is gonna make her MMA debut against Brittany Elkin on June 10th at PFL number 4. I look forward to it. Clarissa Shields is a phenomenal boxer, but it's MMA. What is she going to bring to MMA? We don't know. We haven't seen it yet, so it's kind of hard to say, Shields is going to beat this girl. I don't know if Shields is going to beat this girl. If they keep it standing, Shields in 4-ounce gloves, of course she's going to piece this girl up. But I don't know if Elkin will go in and take her down. What Shields will do, I don't know.
Yeah, so I feel the same about this as I did when this news was first announced. In terms of Clarissa starting MMA, I'm gonna take the MMA fighter over the boxer until I should be told otherwise.
Until they show otherwise.
Right, and with this little time to jump into the sport, as good as Clarissa Shields is as a boxer and just an athlete, it's like, it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, it's a different beast, man.
So
that's why we don't see a lot of boxers go to MMA, while we see MMA fighters try to do their boxing thing.
Right.
It's totally different. I mean, I don't know. I get it. Shields is training with John Jones and Holly Holm and whoever, Michelle Watterson and whoever else. But I mean, that little bit of training, what is it going to do for her in her first fight when it's real live action? Maybe she might fucking knock this girl out, and who knows? I don't know. I have to see her fight, an MMA fight, before I can be like, all right, she's going to be great.
Yeah. And what you said right there.
She's a great boxer. Sure, she's a great boxer, but totally different sport.
Yeah. No, but I was going to say what you said right there kind of goes back to when we were talking off air about Craig Jones with Volkanovski, right? Like similar feeling there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Brian Ortega is a legit black belt, and I don't know how much Craig Jones can teach Volkanovski in so little of time that will do wonders for Volkanovski on the ground once Brian Ortega gets him to the ground. Same thing, kind of the same thing with Clarissa Shields.
I love this comment.
Michelle Watterson might not be the best sparring partner for Shields.
Definitely not.
I don't think that anybody's really sparring with. Well, maybe Holly Holm is sparring. She was a boxer.
Yeah.
Kickboxer. Maybe they're sparring. I don't know. But could you imagine watching John Jones and Clarissa Shields spar?
That'll be something. And Rue asking about the weight class. It is at lightweight, as you mentioned right there. She doesn't want to do 145, 155. It will be. So yeah.
Kayla Harrison's division, guys. That is Kayla Harrison's division. I think they're gonna try to set that fight up.
Would be smart.
Ghost Phantom says Shields need to understand that the distance is completely different, and I do think that she's a smart enough combat sports fighter to know distance.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, she should be. She's just an Olympian,
Yeah. I mean, she's a world champion. She's an Olympian. She's a highly intelligent boxer. She might be the best female boxer ever already. MMA though, it's MMA.
Exactly. So we'll find out on what day is that there? June 10th. June 10th. Which what is that? That's a Friday, right? Or Thursday?
PFL
What are they doing?
PFL's doing Fridays, right? Or no, Thursdays. PFL's doing
Right.
Thursdays.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. First bit of news out of the way, and
Sammy asks,
stick.
will her habits take over? That's the real question. Her habits, what, just to let her fucking paws fly? If she connects, she's gonna put that girl out. Especially with 4 ounce gloves. She can hurt. She can hurt people. She hurts people with boxing gloves right now. 4 ounce gloves, dude. She's gonna knock girls out if she connects.
Yep, no doubt about it. So, all right, but to somebody who does knock bitches out on the regular, the GOAT.
Yeah. The GOAT, Amanda Nunez, is taking on Julianna Pena, who talked her way into the fight. This will be at UFC 265 in August. Quite a while away. Gives Amanda Nunez some time, but kind of shuts Pena up a little bit. Now she can just focus on trying.
It's more time. It's more time for her to talk. Why can't the fight be sooner?
Yeah, I don't know, man. She's
I don't care about this at all.
not worthy. Not worthy. I think we all agree Pena is not worthy of this fight.
No. I think right now Yana's probably the most logical person, and then even Yana's not. Yana doesn't even have the best win streak right now. The best win streak belongs to Penne and Carol Hossa. They're tied with 3 out for contenders, right? Obviously Nunez has the best, but out of contenders. So Pena, oh gosh, I don't think. If we're gonna do a quick prediction, I don't think she's got what it takes. So, oh yeah, Stamina's all for it, of course.
Yeah. He's going to watch the shit out of this fight. I don't think Pena will win, but I was open to the idea and am glad it came through. Bring it on. James says, not going to lie, Pena talking is embarrassing. I think we all think that. She's just, her verbiage is nasty, dude. Like, it's just, she needs to shut it. Just shut it and practice her fight and see what you do. See what you do against the GOAT. You wanted the fight. You called for the fight. You talked your way into the fight. Now shut the fuck up and fight and get your ass beat.
Her style is just like tailor-made for Nunez to just do bad things, you know? Like, oh man.
Rose says,
yep, sorry.
We both clicked on it at the same time. Nunez versus overmatched opponent. That's how it's been. That's what it'd be like for Amanda Nunez at this point in the game. Up until Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, it's just the way I see it.
Yep, and Rain right there bringing up Jermaine.
She was put to sleep by Jermaine. Can't imagine what Nunez would do to her. She's gonna hurt the girl. Stamina likes this fight though. Oh, wrong one. My hot take: this fight is gonna last longer than the Megan Anderson one. Don't block me.
I can agree with that, and I think it probably will, because assuming Pena doesn't just eat like a clean uppercut rushing in for the takedown, she'll push Amanda against the cage for a little bit and run that clock out. But yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
I'm not a fan.
I think that Amanda's gonna get up for this fight, dude, just because of the shit talk. She don't stand for that kind of crap.
Yeah, that's true. Especially depending on
this fight is a joke. But what is the UFC going to do? Well, Shevchenko is literally fighting this week. If she beats Andrade, they could have waited and made this one of the biggest summer fights of the year.
Yep, that they could have. Well, maybe it can be a year-end one. We'll see how things shake out. So
yeah, Ghost Phantom says Pena pulling in Chael Sonnen, but will she do as good as Chael Sonnen did against Anderson Silva? Highly doubtful.
Unlikely. Oh boy. So that's that. As we move on here to next bit of news, and we're sticking with the heavier weight classes. Steve, I know you are excited for this one, as am I. I like this a lot.
Yeah, so Janae Harding versus Leah McCourt, who's been out for quite some time, at Bellator 259 in May on the 21st. I like this fight so much. Leah McCourt is very good. Janae Harding is very good. This is going to be a banger, dude. Oh, man. Smoking hot fight. Oh, smoking hot.
Yeah, no, this I like this matchup a lot. In terms of the rankings, what 6 and 7 they're at, so right next to each other, and finally, kind of a good step up for Leah McCourt and Janae, who looking just always showing off kind of new techniques and looking good in all areas. So
improving and constantly improving.
Yep, and yeah, I am all for this. So should be a good one, which is May 24th on the Cyborg one. You'd love to see that too. So
it'll be nice to see McCourt back in there. She's really, I think people don't realize, just because of, she's doing commentating for Bellator. She's a really hot lady. Like, man, dude, phenomenal. Like, she's she's actually a really good fighter. Like, put everything else aside, she's a really good fighter. And Janae is, man, improving so nicely.
The thing about Leah is, like, yeah, no, she's good, like you said. It's just that she's had kind of that Bellator slow build where now she's getting the step up, the more notable name. We've seen the competition for her so far hasn't been the greatest, but yeah, she's looked good, which she should. So, yeah, no, I think this is a great test stylistically for both of them too, in particular. So,
I think Janae just really, her striking is really solid. It's like it's getting better and better, and she's still only 25, 26. That she boxes like, man. Who somebody asked about? Oh, that's at the very bottom. Rain is not familiar with these ladies. Any suggestions on what fights to watch? Go watch the Sinead Kavanaugh fight with Janae Harding. Janae looked good in that fight. And then I guess you can watch that Amber Leibrock fight. Even though Janae lost, you can watch that fight.
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't know if I agree, if I thought she won that one, but it was a lot closer than kind of people gave it credit for, I think.
Which one are you talking about?
The Leibrock one.
Oh, Leibrock.
She did pretty good in that one, but I would point out, her last fight against Jessie Mealy was a good one. The Magnatina fight, though, I think that one really impressed me a lot because she kind of went into Magnatina's area and did very, very well. So that is a good choice. And then
for Leah McCourt, Bellator 227 against Carrie Hughes. That was a fight where she won by rear naked choke in the first round. Oh, Menon Firat as well.
Yep.
That was a good fight, right?
Yeah, that was
it was an entertaining fight.
Yeah, that was yeah, it was pretty back and forth, and for the size difference, I highlighted this when we were talking about Fiorot when she was making her UFC debut. Like, I think the size really was what beat her there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they both obviously had good moments in that one, but I think that one's worth checking out, despite that being a while ago now, 2 years, 3 years, and Fiorot obviously being outsized as she's a flyweight, but a good one to do some tape study on. So
She has
yeah.
she only has 5 fights. Mccourt does
Mm-hmm.
5 pro fights.
Mm-hmm.
I think she fought a lot in amateurs though.
I think so, but
She's still 28. Her nickname is
yep.
the Curse.
I actually didn't know that.
I just looked it up on Tapology. Salmon
Well,
thinks Salmon agrees. Janae Harding is marketable as all get out. Marketable as fuck. She rides motorcycles. Dude, she's a baddie. She's a fucking
fun
baddie.
fact. Fun fact, Janae Harding is actually our last guest on WMMA Today.
That's right. Janae Harding.
The
Yeah.
very last guest. WMMA Today, episode, I want to say 6. The 6th ever. The
We haven't
6th episode
we
ever.
haven't had a fighter on in so long.
I don't even remember what fight after that was from her. Like, I think it was after the Librock one. I think that was her last fight. Like, that was a while ago.
Yeah, possible. That was so long ago. Oh man, she was fun. She's a fun one. Dude, she talked to us the whole show. It wasn't just
I
a
know.
segment. It wasn't a segment where we talked to her, about fights, her training and all that kind of shit. No, she literally sat through our show, Drake and I's show.
She did the
and
lineup with us.
did the whole lineup with us. Did everything. Like we didn't have the comments going and all that, but she sat there for an hour, a good hour with us. We were going 45 minutes to an hour at that time. And she stayed the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can bring her back on. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I could shoot her a message and see if she wants to do it again. This time
we
tell her-
wouldn't keep her the whole time though.
tell her
We
it's
couldn't
on,
do that.
tell her it's on video and she can
Live.
live and she can show out for us, flex for us a little bit like she likes to do.
Exactly. But all right, I see James comparing it to PVZ versus Hibas or Ostovich, but with skills. I don't know about that. And Stamina disagrees too. Antonina versus Ariani. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing now. Okay, I see you guys. I see. Moving on to the biggest news of the week, and the
Drake
news that is
catching on to the hotness of this fight.
I know.
Like this fight is fucking hot, dude. Hot.
Anyway, we're getting to the big news now. The news that is finally out. And Steve, we haven't talked about it at all yet. Not even a little bit. So, you got to give me your first reaction here, buddy, while reading it out.
Yeah, so Invicta, they're on TV again. Love to see that. They're going to be on Access TV, home for MMA. They have a show coming up May. What is it? The 21st, May 21st. That will be Invicta FC 44. Atomweight champion Alicia Zapatella will be taking on Jessica Del Boni. I like that fight. That's a fun one.
Yep, that is probably the one to make. Or who was it? Pereira, Viviane Pereira. But yeah,
I think this one makes sense. I think this one makes sense.
But in terms of the news, man, like, y'all for it? Do you like the turnout?
Yeah, I mean, Access TV, the MMA, they've been doing MMA for so long. Who was there before? Oh, LFA was there before, and then they went to Fight Pass. Yeah, they've had a couple different promotions, but they're all about the sports entertainment. They do pro wrestling. They do what else do they do? Something else. I don't know.
Surely they do a lot of music stuff.
They do a ton of music stuff, but Invicta's Invicta's found a new home, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. Shannon Knapp, props to that woman. Man, she built Invicta, and now they're part of Anthem,
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
Anthem group. They bought out Invicta, but Shannon Knapp is still going to be the president, right?
Yep. Yep. That is
Props to,
correct.
props to that
And
woman, man. She's a great MMA mind.
oh yeah, incredible. So yeah, we're looking at a whole lot more Invicta, you guys. Looking at about 2022-ish a year going forward. Plenty of events. Gonna be awesome. And I don't think that this part is out, so I'll give you guys a little tidbit about what else is coming. Focus on that atomweight division. Obviously, we got the atomweight title fight here with Zapatella Del Boni, but also planned for the next Phoenix series, which they're going to continue to do. I would assume it'll come some point after this next event. That'll be the atomweights. So the next Phoenix series will be the atomweight division as well. Gonna be fun. Just everything about this is really good for them, I think. And
James asks a great question. What is Invicta's relationship with the UFC? It seems most fighters go to the UFC from Invicta, and I think they want that to stop.
yeah, no, that's pretty much the thing. When I talk to Shannon, not necessarily that she's like, fuck off, UFC. She's not like that at all. Like, the relationship with them is good. And the only reason that this is one of the reasons, I guess, that they have separated is because, well, first of all, the deal expired and Shannon was feeling like they need to spread their wings a little bit, right? And she believes that Invicta is better than a feeder promotion. So she doesn't want to be in that same kind of spot anymore. And they're moving away from that and going to be the legit home, like kind of like they were before, like before they even went to Fight Pass and even for a while there. But yeah, no, they are better than it. They've proven that with all the talent that they've had and how well things have gone. So it's truly going to be a new era, I think. And it's no ill will between either of them, I think. But that'll be interesting to see how careers kind of change for a lot of people, and being able to have this as a longer term home where you can be maybe better off than you used to be in Invicta the last so many years, so
Yeah. Can you imagine had they not been purged the way that they were the past year and a half or so? All of those names, if
yeah,
they were still in
exactly.
Invicta, imagine the fights
Boy.
that we would have got.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because she pointed that out. It's like, well, they just kind of, it's like they'll take them and then they'll make the fights I would have made anyway. So it's
Right.
like we would have had them. Also interesting, now that I think about it too, like the separation of it is like, for visibility wise, I remember she asked me, she's like, do you know how many people, watch Fight Pass? How many people check in Fight Pass? Like, I have no idea. And she's like, yeah, nobody does. So like that was, a little bit bothersome when you're like, fuck, I don't even know how many people are tuning into my shows here, that my baby, that's, so it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Like, why wouldn't they share? Why wouldn't they share that with at least her? If they don't want to, if the UFC doesn't want to put their ratings out there, but at least share that with Shannon Knapp. I mean, come
right.
on. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Come on. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess everybody involved with Fight Pass is under that, in that boat. So
That sucks.
yeah.
That's terrible.
Yep. But hey,
Might as well just stay on like YouTube, your own YouTube platform.
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
At least you can see how many people are viewing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Fight Pass isn't that big anymore. It really isn't.
No, especially now that the fucking the live fights the UFC fights aren't on there anymore.
They're on ESPN
It's
Plus.
strange. Yeah, and Rue asking right here who really uses Fight Pass, and the only reason I think, Steve, that you and I did was for Invicta, right? Like it was
Literally the only reason that I would tune into Fight Pass or bought into Fight Pass was because of Invicta. Hell, Drake, dude, I was buying the Invicta $10 pay-per-views. So
yeah,
of course I was gonna pay $9.99 for Fight Pass, while if I wanted a late night session of old Nick Diaz fights, I would be
yeah,
able to watch it.
library.
You know what I mean? The library is phenomenal, obviously, but to be honest, we can find those fights on YouTube now.
Yeah, or other parts of the internet, they're out there.
Or
So.
there's other websites out there that show fight clips, or whole fights.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's really like no need for UFC Fight Pass anymore, other than I guess like Lion Fight and stuff like that, Titan and LFA now.
Yeah.
Rain said, so 3 people watch Invicta on Fight Pass: Drake, Steve, and me.
Yep, there you go.
That's it.
Even then, I haven't had some of the. Yeah, I haven't had Fight Pass for a while.
It's been a while for me. It's been a while for me too. I quit Fight Pass. I quit DAZN. Once I got locked out of that $9.99 a month from DAZN, they tried to put that shit up to $19.99. I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not paying $20 for this crap." Once Canelo was no longer, Canelo and Triple G weren't fighting much. I was like, "Fuck this! There's no point in DAZN anymore."
Right.
I'll find the stream for that too. I'm all about illegal streaming.
You and James both.
Yeah. James is my homie. Fist bumps.
Hilarious.
We're pirates.
Freaking filthy heathens. Arrgh.
All
right. I'll take it. So that is the weekly news, you guys. A lot of ridiculousness. In a good ways, except for the Pena fight, I guess.
Invicta was the best part of the. It's good to see for Invicta. They deserve better.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited, man.
They deserve all really the riches that they get. I hope that they do phenomenal. Access TV is great. They know how to put on. They know how to do MMA.
Yep, indeed. And I also forgot to add too that they're planning to move around more, not just be stuck in Kansas. So they're looking to get all over the country now.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Got to get them back in California, man. It's been too long.
Yeah, they need to come back to Tai Chi Palace in Lemoore.
Yeah. Just getting out. That'll be very cool. Helps. It's just this whole thing helps with exposure in every way. So
is that the last Invicta card I went to?
It's got to be, right?
That was a long time ago. Oh shit.
Yeah, they haven't been to California since like 17, 18 maybe, early 18. Like it's been a while.
Damn.
Yeah.
Covered that event for then MMA Today.
Oh yeah, throwback where it all started.
That's where Drake and I started.
Yep.
Well, not started necessarily. Drake was at Sherdog first.
Yes. Yep.
And then I was at my MMA latest.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good one too. So, all right, you guys, it is time. Are you fucking ready for UFC 261? It is time to talk about these fights. I know we kept y'all waiting till the very end of the show because that's just how we're formatted. Sorry, but here we are. It's the best for last, right? So,
and literally the best fight for last.
Literally, that is what's up. But starting off with quite a good one as well. Welcome to the UFC, Miss Liang Na. Welcome.
Liang Na versus Ariane Carnelossi.
I hate this, by the way. The still at the tape fight. Can't stand it.
Why? Why?
It just
There's nothing.
all you have is her name.
Yeah,
And then look at
that's
that.
terrible.
0-0.
That's so bad. At least they put
She's been at the PI. They have her stats, you know? Like,
at least they
crazy.
put a woman this time.
Yeah, not Brian Ebersol. Very true.
Crazy.
Very true.
Best fight for
But
last. Yes, sir.
best fight for last. But good one here. And according to UFC.com, this one is opening the card. So not a bad opener. So
Huh?
what we do have here, though, Liang Na versus Ariane Carnelossi, a pretty interesting matchup in terms of, I mean, style, the way that they fight, but also dimensions, which you can't really see here. But obviously, Carnelossi, 5'2", very built, just muscular for strawweight. Everybody remembers how jacked her arms were in her debut against Angela Hill, and they're still jacked, of course.
She's
But
a tank.
she is straight up strawweight tank. 5'2" against Liang Na, who is now at strawweight after pretty much an entire career at flyweight. She moved to strawweight in her second to last fight. Has won those fights. She's on a 4-fight winning streak. But Liang Na is 5'9", so this is gonna look pretty wild, in terms of height difference, weight difference, in terms of who's the bigger frame, I guess, in terms of, proportions, I guess. I don't know. Dimensions, like I said, for Liang Na, but probably safe to say Carnelossi is just one of the strongest physically at strawweight. She hits very hard, as we saw against Angela Hill, but ended up getting the doctor stoppage after that nasty cut she had over her eyebrow, I think it was. But either way, enough to get the call there. Liang Na, very good grappler, not the worst striker either, but she really believes that her strength primarily is in her like judo and grappling and that kind of stuff. So
Probably gonna have to do. She doesn't want to stand and bang with Colonel.
no, you shouldn't do that. It's probably not a good idea. I think that, if she was to fight and play that distance game, utilize the reach, of course, that's never a bad idea.
Against 5'9" to 5'2", dude. That's 7 inch. That's 7 inch.
Stay away. Just stay away, Like,
Yeah.
so
Crazy.
it should be very entertaining while it lasts. I'm sure that Carnelossi is just dying to get back in there, because that Hill fight was in 2019, late 2019, and it was a loss, her first loss in forever after her debut. She was on a very long winning streak. Liang Na has waited for the perfect moment, as I titled, shameless plug, my my story I did with her, rejecting the UFC contract a couple years ago.
Smart girl.
Yeah, and now feels ready. She's gotten more and more experience, has finished every single win that she has, 15 wins, all finishes. Expects to do the same here again. And man, it will come down to if she could control her, but Carnelossi is just a tank, like we said. So I think she'll have to.
Clipped. She can't get clipped.
No, I think it would be good, and I could see her doing this, kind of maybe make Carnelossi think that she is going to strike with her for a bit, hopefully utilize the distance, jab at length, that kind of stuff, and then sneak in the takedowns from there, or get her up against the cage, that kind of thing, which risky business, obviously, but the best path to victory here.
It is. It's pretty risky. I mean, because again, if she gets hit, she's going down, and it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, definitely. And I like the point that Rue's bringing up here. Yeah, in terms of just overall game, Liang has a pretty well-rounded game. Grappling is what will make the difference. She's able to finish anywhere, as we've seen throughout her whole career. Carnelossi, just powerhouse tank. I'm not sure if she has no submissions, at least according to Tapology. Maybe some earlier in her career, none that I've seen, obviously. So we know what she likes to do. This is a very winnable fight for both of them, but I think Rue pretty much hits it on the nail on the head here with the abilities, the overall well-rounded abilities that Liang has, and if she can get a hold of Carnelossi and get her to the ground, then it's the wheelhouse. And she's a finisher, man. You love to see that kind of killer instinct, and
Yeah.
it should make for a really. This is a good spot actually to start the card off because they're both going to be looking to do some damage, like so. It's gonna be very fun, but yeah, I think that Liang Na's she'll get it done, man. I believe in her, and she believes in herself, obviously, as I said, with her having waited to get to the UFC in this moment. Carnelossi maybe come in rusty. We'll see how she feels after the layoff, but we know what they each need to do, and we know what Liang is, where she can hang in more areas than Carnelossi can. So,
Yep.
but again, it only takes one, man. So it
Oh,
worries you against somebody with that kind of
little,
power.
Yeah, that little powerhouse.
So
She's kind of like
Yeah.
Jessica and Josh.
a little bit. Just not as obviously not as refined. No,
No,
definitely not. But
like not even close.
but also if you
Like,
want
Josh
to
is
look
the
at
champion.
right. If you want to look at like the last fight against Angela Hill where Carnelossi she did land those bombs, she had success, but of course Hill's just very quick, moves very well. In terms of a lengthier opponent, Angela Hill's not like not as tall as Long Na, or most people at
5'9"
strawweight are not.
5'9" is tall for that
For
division.
strawweight, yeah. So I think that she can definitely replicate similarities to what Angela Hill did, Liang Na can, but it's just mixing in her ground game and making Carnelossi really think about what's going to happen, and I think she should do that. Just really ready for this moment. So I'll take her by. I think she'll continue, man. Continue with the streak, make it 16th finish of her career. I will say second round submission. I think she'll find. I foresee a rear naked choke or something. Obviously, she has a lot of arm bars and some heel hook action going on there, but I just have a feeling she'll get on the back and get it done from there. So we'll find out. What do you think, Steve?
I think Carnelossi gets the clip shot. I do.
Very possible.
Man, I like that power. Love that power, man. I'm not saying that Liang isn't good. She's very good. Rain thinks it's a second round armbar. Could see that happening. Armbar, James Kendrick. Everybody thinks an armbar. I don't.
Arm snatcher. And yes, stamina. That is, I believe that is Misha's. Maybe, maybe.
And we heard that somewhere. I think I heard that too as well. But I mean, who knows? With the UFC, their website's dumb. And then James actually said, "Come on, I've seen Leon train at
Exactly.
the website can do better." I don't think they can because they don't give a shit. Their website sucks. Terrible.
Yeah.
You can find better information on other websites, even though this is their fight promotion. Dumb. Their website sucks. I don't use their website for anything other than the rankings. That's literally it. I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
that's literally it for me.
I use it for this. We use it for this, and that's it. Which I should probably stop doing, honestly.
You can find the same exact thing on Tapology, to be honest.
Yeah.
With the picture
that's a very good
of
point.
fighter.
Tapology. Next week I'll switch. Yeah. So,
Good call, Drake. Good call. We don't
Yep.
want to give UFC our business.
no way. So
Pay the
all right,
fighter.
well,
Pay the fighters, UFC. Then we'll give you our business.
exactly. Tapology for the win, says Rue. All right, so we're
Surprising
split
how many
on
people don't know what Tapology is.
You think so? Like who? I don't know. I feel like it's pretty common at this point.
There's a lot of people. That don't know. I like
Casuals, filthy casuals.
screenshot Tapology cards, and they're like, "Where'd you find that?" Well, holy shit. Where?
Yeah.
You don't know Tapology?
Yeah. I see you, Sammy. I see you.
If Alex is in here, he still uses Wikipedia.
Yeah, I like to use it from time to time also.
I like
But
I like Wikipedia as well, but sometimes for some things,
for speed
I actually use
on a surface
Wikipedia
level.
for boxing stuff more than MMA.
You know. But all right, despite you picking against Liang Na in this one, Steve, and pretty much, just because you believe that shot will be found, which is totally fair. I could absolutely see that.
I'm okay with being wrong too. Like, you know, I think this is like a pattern when you and I don't see eye to eye on a fight. It's not necessarily that we don't see eye to eye. I think it's more I'm thinking outside the box a little bit where I like a power shot, and that's it.
Just
Like,
kind of gambling on the most likely case for that fighter.
yeah,
Like me with Dern against Ansarov, right?
yeah, that was unfortunate for you.
Yeah, so, right. I picked that though. I did pick that. So,
You did.
but anyway, what I was getting at was Sammy's question here, Steve.
Could Liang be like Whaley because of her patience?
As he mentions on getting to the UFC is what he means.
Yeah.
She's got all the tools, man. I mean,
tools. Yeah, it's really hard to put them side by side. Whaley's really, really fucking good, man. Like she's I wish like she would fight more often so that we can see her greatness, Like
oh yeah.
She can be an all-time great. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to put even Zhang up with her,
Right. And to be fair, Liang is still not even 25 yet, so
right, she's young.
It's easy to forget with this is her 20th fight, so really racked up the experience quickly.
Right, dude. Yeah.
Now, her and Meng Bo actually, very similar in that regard.
That's true.
So you gotta love it though. You love seeing these Chinese strawweights, man. Why are they so good? Why are they so good?
Dude, they have all the makings to put on a phenomenal card in China.
Yeah. We see it with this card. Like there's 4 or 5 Chinese fighters competing, like, and the champion is there.
Make a Chinese card. I hope maybe by the end of the year, depending on what happens, but for 2020, at some point in 2020, I really sincerely hope that they go to China. They have that beautiful UFC PI. Just do it. Just do it. But you would hate not to see fans there.
I know. Yeah, it's got to be in a crowd. I mean, and hi, Alex, by the way. Hi, you're very late, sir. Just in time for the biggins.
Done.
We got your questions, by the way. Check them out after we're off air. What was I going to say? I think the WLF Wulin Feng. I might have been getting it wrong there, but the promotion that Xi Ming was fighting in last year, I believe they had crowds. I believe so. Wherever they hold their events, fucking do it there, man. Fucking do it there. Why not?
Where do they hold? So. Do you know where they held an event?
No, I don't. But I'll check real quick right here. I think I want to say Beijing, but that's perfect for Whaley.
They have fans.
That's her hometown.
They had fans.
I think so. I think I could. I'm pretty sure because I watched those fights from Xi Ming and it looked like it. So let me see. Yeah,
James Xi Ming.
Yep, she is the best. I need to catch up with her again. She just she got her she passed the combine or whatever, so that's cool. Very good for her. She is awesome. I don't know why she's not popping up here. Oh well, I will find it later. But I think it should be possible. I think so. Xi Ming, shout outs to Xi Ming. She is adorable and a badass.
I do hope by next year that they're able to go to China. I've since they've even talked about putting events at the PI and stuff. I've always thought they needed to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My man. Everybody go check that one out if you haven't. Shameless plug, Xi Ming. Great story with her. So much to talk about. She is awesome. And yeah, speaks English pretty well for her second language. Very smart girl. All right, moving on. Title fight time. The very first of two. The very first of three overall. Let's get into it.
What a card.
What a card.
What a card. Valentina Shevchenko, flyweight champion, will be taking on former champion, strawweight champion, Jessica Andrade. We're talking about shotties with some power. There's the real shotty.
Yeah, there we go.
There's the real one right there, Jessica Andrade. But does she beat the phenomenal and crazy talented killer in Valentina Shevchenko?
Man,
Man,
as much as I would love to see that, I have nothing against Valentina Shevchenko. Let me preface with that. I have nothing against her at all. I think she's fantastic. Obviously, a great fighter and a likable personality, I would say. But Jessica Andrade, incredibly underappreciated in terms of, she's a great person too. Like every time I've talked with her, she is fantastic. Just radiates positive energy. Very happy, as much as she's mean mugging in her picture right there. And then one of the most exciting female fighters ever. Yeah, I know. She is just so insanely exciting all the time. And how can she not be with the way that she does fight? But man, I don't know. I feel like this is similar to the Liang Na fight that we just talked about, in the sense that Andrade kind of needs to clip her to win a little bit, or the crazy slam, and
Shevchenko doesn't even let people in. She's not
going to
let
Maia. Let Jennifer Maia.
Barely. Andrade isn't gonna.
It's different. I know.
Pick up and slam Valentina Shevchenko like she did.
Okay, don't go that far. Don't go that. Well, maybe not like that, but she can pick her up and slam her. She can. She can.
I think that she can physically. She can. She's able to. Yeah. But can she actually do it? Will Valentina let her? I don't think so.
Well, we will get to find out. But yeah, that's the main thing. Kind of, Ghost points out here. Probably not going to be able to get it done. This is the perfect style for Valentina to counter down the middle, and that's the thing that I've said kind of from the beginning of this, is that Jessica Andrade, one of the greatest pressure fighters in any division that she is a part of. Yeah. Just unrelenting force of nature, right? It can be the immovable object versus the unstoppable force kind of thing, right? That's what it would have been if she fought Tatiana. That's what I always said. But the thing about that, and I don't think that she's that same level of relentless as we've seen in the past, like on her build up through strawweight and to become champion. But like in these last so many fights, obviously she was that against Whaley, and it cost her terribly. Yeah, in the Rose fights, she was more reserved intentionally, and she clearly did better in both fights. I mean, she didn't get the win, but she did better. And you go back to when she was on that run initially at strawweight, gets the title shot against Joanna. Bull Matador, that whole fight came forward trying to get in. Not the way to fight Joanna. She learned from that, but yeah, you can't do that. And I'm afraid that
same thing with Valentina. She's just
because Valentina can absolutely replicate that same fight. She should try to do that if she can. And Andrade, when speaking to her before this one, she said exactly what I was afraid of her game plan would be, which she said is to kind of pressure her, make her uncomfortable, get in there tight. Which the weird thing is, though, even though that's a bad idea, it's also probably the best way she can win, right? Like it's very it's a catch-22 is how they would say, right? Where she needs to close the distance, obviously, get in tight, try to tire out Shevchenko while landing your bombs and putting damage on her if you can by getting inside. But to get there, man, it ain't easy. It ain't easy against these Muay Thai fighters that are tippy top like Joanna and Valentina. So it's a big ask, and that's the thing though. If Andrade does get in there and she cracks Valentina, clean to the body, wherever, she just packs so much power, she can make things super interesting. But man, it is just so much easier said than done. Like if anybody controls, there might be no one who controls distance better than Valentina, right? Like
true. Valentina is all about distance control. That's what gets her. That's what gets her the wins.
Yeah.
So Rain says Andrade is going to get head kicked with that excessive head movement, kind of like Jessica Ai. That would be wild. And she's so much shorter. Like she's perfect level for a head kick. Jessica Ai is at least tall. Andrade is short. Could you imagine if Valentina is able to get that head kick?
Oof. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe she'll duck under, and then she'll slam her.
Pick her up and
dump her. Yeah. Holy shit! Holy shit! I would lose my mind if that happened, dude.
I think the whole internet, MMA,
if it played out like that.
Yeah.
And if we predicted that right now, then oh boy.
If Andrade does that, Valentina is just going to do that lateral drop she did with Joanna. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. Valentina is probably one of the most intelligent fighters in MMA. She's so intelligent. She's so smart. She's one of the best champions in MMA right now. So it's really hard to say that Jessica Andrade is going to beat her because of how good Valentina is, how easy she makes some of these fights look. She's just picking off opponents at this point.
Yeah, no, she definitely is. But yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I guess I can't really counter that. It's we'll see, man. I don't know. It obviously comes down to, I think it would be surprising if Andrade, man, I wonder what the odds are on a decision for her. Those have to be massive, massive potential there. But
on like what, a knockout win?
No, if she, well, that's probably big too. But if she was Andrade by decision, must be like plus $1 million. That's the most unlikely possibility. So yeah, it's going to be a knockout for her. If she's to win, it'll be a knockout, whether a slam, because that's just what she's capable of, or getting in there and hurting her. But I don't know. That's just a lot to ask for. As crazy and wild as it would be when Andrade does those things, it's just a big one. It's just a big one to ask for that. So I think we'll more or less see a bit of the same thing that we saw against Joanna versus Andrade. Fairly similar, I think, but yeah, I don't know. I think Andrade will do better than maybe everyone will give anybody credit for against Valentina. I think she will land some shots. Just depends on how much damage.
You mean better than Jessica Ai and Caitlin Chikazian?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not really. They're not the best opponents. I think is a better opponent for Valentina Shevchenko, for sure. Right.
Yeah, so I'll go. I think Andrade will last. I do. I think it'll be a Valentina UD unanimous for me.
That's kind of what she does, unless if she gets like this crazy ass, the head kick, the Jessica Ai head kick.
Yep.
That's what she does. She outpoints.
Yeah, it's a chess. It's always chess with her.
It is. She's so intelligent. She's such a smart fighter. The odds for this fight are Andrade plus 300, and Shevchenko the champion minus 400. So if you think Andrade is gonna get a knockout win, put some money on that.
I feel like why not put a little bit on that? You know, I mean, it's Andrade we're talking about. So
put a little bit down on Andrade if you're a betting man or woman. So James says we saw what Zhang did to Andrade when she tried to clinch and take her down.
Yeah, I think there's differences to that levels of aggression, though. You know, like Whaley just unloaded.
Plus, Valentina is a lot longer in length
Right.
than Whaley is, so it's kind of the height and the measurements were closer than Andrade and Shevchenko.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Whaley and Valentina are actually probably closer than we think. What is Whaley, like 5'4", maybe? I mean, let's see here.
She 5'4"? Could be.
Yeah, she is 5'4". Okay, so. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. So, official pick, Steve. What you got?
Hold on. Rain says her style is boring. If you haven't seen Senchai, because they use the same distance control shifts. For me, I don't think that Valentina is boring at all. I think that she's fun to watch. I can't stand her. She annoys the fuck out of me, but her fight, like the way that she fights, it's a beautiful master class way of fight of just dominance. And that's what you want out of a champion. You want to see pure dominance from a champion.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a rare thing when you get to see it too. I mean, she's any level for the most part, you know. So,
Stamina says, I'm going to watch, but my interest levels are pretty low.
At least he's honest, as always. All right, Steve, official pick.
Grandmaster versus novice, if we were talking chess terms, from Sammy. Yeah, Grandmaster Valentina. I kind of at the point where I'm at with Amanda Nunez, and until she loses, I'm not gonna pick against her.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
But I do think I don't think that she head kicks Jessica Andrade. I don't think that she gets any kind of like ground and pound, or she doesn't piece her up and knock her out. I don't think that happens. I just think that Valentina probably outpoints and outduels Jessica Andrade. But there's always that power shot that tank Jessica Andrade can get in.
Yep.
There's always that slim chance for Jessica Andrade because of her straight power. But Valentina's so damn good. Can't go against her.
Yep. Totally fair. So, in the same boat for that one. And we got Sammy with another comment before we move on to the big kibosh.
One's going to the checkmating and tax, while the other one stays solid and grinds out an endgame. Yep. Again, that's going back to Valentina being just incredibly intelligent in the cage.
Indeed.
So we both have Valentina winning by decision, by points.
By damn points.
Yep.
So. All right, you guys. It is time.
Here we go.
The best for last.
This is why you guys are here, right?
This is why y'all showed up today, huh? Is this what you want to see? You want to? I think we're going to cut the show early today, actually.
Yeah,
we're just going to go home. Psych! It's here. Whaley's back, everybody.
Finally. My goodness. It's been so long. Whaley. So for the strawweight championship, Zhang Whaley, the champion, of course, versus former champion Rose Namajunas.
Comments coming in right away.
Finally here. We are finally here. Can't believe it.
Everybody's so excited.
It took us so long to get here. It felt like just last week that we were saying, let's just get her a fight. You know?
I know, dude. Man, yeah, it was a long couple months there. People asking us, is it going to be in Singapore? Was she going to fight Carla? What the fuck is going on?
Singapore.
So unnecessary, all of it. But here we are.
It was all, like we didn't know what the fuck was going on. We had no idea. Like literally nobody had any idea. Whaley probably didn't even fucking know what the hell was going on. Poor thing.
Yeah. Brutal. But it's happening here. Fingers fucking crossed. Knock on wood. Nothing insane happens. No COVID. Man, it scares me, especially being in Jacksonville. If anything happens, you fucking know what would happen here. So let's stop. I'm not even gonna say any more about that.
Could you imagine? Man, I would feel like heartbroken for Whaley if that happened. Total heartbreak for her,
Yeah, that would be oof. So, all right.
We shouldn't even talk about that.
I know, terrible.
Yeah.
The fight itself, though, you guys, Whaley versus Rose. For me, I believe that we have reached a point where Whaley she's clearly the champion for a reason. No denying that. But when it comes to everybody else in the division, for the most part, outside of a couple outliers, like some specialists, your Mackenzie Dern's, your Tatiana Suarez's, for the most part, Whaley is at that point where nobody's better than her in every area. They might be equal, but not necessarily better, except for those few exceptions. Like I said, Suarez, wrestling, Dern, jiu-jitsu. I think she's proven so far probably to be the best striker. I think that's fair to say with how she's performed. Just put on an amazing fight with Joanna. I said just, even though that was over a year ago. In terms of this fight and, the underappreciated grappling that I know you guys all bring up plenty, and I think we will see it in this fight. She just does so many things well. So many different techniques. The diversity, as Ghost points out here, diversity of attacks from Whaley versus the boxing of Rose. Yeah, very true. Mm-hmm. She just throws so many different attacks, which I think that's a huge key to this as well. So when you break it down to, James points out Whaley has pretty underrated footwork. Very true. If you look at these aspects within the areas, so like striking, obviously, footwork, feel like it's probably pretty even. Rose is very good with her movement. Whaley moves very well. Very different ways that they move. In terms of speed, I think they're probably pretty close. Rose is fucking fast, and I think people they kind of forget about that. Like, you look back at the Joanna rematch, and holy shit, man, they were like fast forward that whole fight. It was crazy.
She jabs the fuck out of her opponents.
Yeah. So very, very fast, but so is Whaley. It just kind of might not seem as fast generally because of the diversity of her strikes. When you're just doing hands, it kind of might look a little bit faster, but I think they're both probably equal in striking. And then if you want to go to the power aspect, this has kind of been a fun debate over at the Body Lock in our comment section on our predictions for that video, because everybody on the panel with me kind of said that they're equal in power, but I feel like Whaley's kind of, clearly a little bit, got the edge there, and everybody was disagreeing with.
I don't think that
being equal.
They were disagreeing with you?
No, they were agreeing with me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they were like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Yeah, no, Whaley is very strong. Like, she's incredibly strong. No, I mean, Namajunas is strong as well, but in a different way.
Right.
Whereas Whaley is physically fucking like yoked. Rose isn't. Rose isn't yoked. Not fucking not doesn't have the arm muscles and doesn't have the leg, doesn't have. She's kind of flat. She's still in great shape. She's in phenomenal shape, but she's not strong like Whaley is.
Yeah, you can see. I like that Sammy says this because it's like you can see that Whaley uses every single muscle in her body when
Literally, literally her whole body. Yeah.
and she trains that way too. Like if to go in, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but like Ramiz Atik's channel, her English teacher. Like I remember this always when she was training like her foot grip strength, which that thing to even say foot grip, like with your toes, where she would grab like marbles out of like a marble jar with her toes and like put them in a pile, taking them out, putting them in. And he was like, "What are you doing this for?" And she's like, "My foot, make my foot power, better, like stronger, more, tight strength with the foot." It's like, Jesus, that is just like the refinement of like the science of getting everything so specifically strong. And you see that in the way that she moves, so light on her feet but so powerful all the time. It's just something to behold, man. And everything she throws has speed, power behind it, perfect technique. Yep, the Shang-Chi for the foot grip strength. There you go.
Crazy, dude.
it's
Wow.
something else, man. Yeah, she is a beast. So there's that. When you look at the striking department, which is going to be fun as hell, and we can, yeah, I trained my foot, good footwork. Yeah, Ghost Phantom with the quote there. It's like who will be able to, in terms of stamina, which I saw the word right there. James, throw it out. No one here wants Whaley versus Valentina. We want Whaley versus Janae. Yes. He's
Oh,
replying to stamina, but in terms of stamina
said, listen, if Whaley wins this fight, I don't want to hear a damn thing about Valentina. There is not one interesting fight for Whaley at 125 and countless awesome ones at 115. She needs to stay where she is.
right.
There's just too many good fights for her. Too many deserving fighters. Too many deserving fighters for them to be out of luck against a champion that wants to go for a super fight. That division is just too good for that right now. Too good. Whaley hasn't worked the division like what Valentina and Amanda have. She's not there yet. She can be, but she's not there yet. There are fights for her in that division.
Yep. Completely agree. So back to the matchup at hand, though. Everybody, also I've seen the presentation of, Rose's grappling potentially being a big threat here, an X factor of sorts. But, as you guys know,
She has really good jiu-jitsu.
yeah, no, she's her
It's just
strength,
that
obviously, and
we haven't really seen it in the UFC yet.
right
Well,
outside of like. Yeah, outside of the Tisha fight and the Jessica Aguilar fight, which, if you want to look at that one, I mean, good Lord, the way she manhandles Jessica Aguilar is something that nobody has ever done to Jessica Aguilar before, and relative ease. Like in that fight, you can really see her strength, man. Like that one was nasty. Obviously, cut her open, got the triangle, just brilliant stuff from Whaley in that one. And when it comes to, this is always something I like to mention about Rose, she has one of the best killer instincts, I think, among the strawweight division in particular, and just most women's fighters. Like there's something about her ability to find finishes and go for it, at least maybe more so back in the day when she was on the rise, but I think it's still there. We just haven't seen an opening for her to jump on it. I guess you could look at the Paige Van Zandt fight where just nonstop looking for it. Even though that fight never should have been made, but that's a different thing. I think Whaley also has shown, like that Jessica Aguilar fight, incredible killer instinct, like the Jessica Andrade fight. These poor Jessicas. Just she also has one of the best killer instincts, clearly in the strawweight division. So when one of them hurts the other, it's going to be very interesting to see how they follow it up. I don't know if they'll get too crazy, especially against each other in this type of matchup. And as for the grappling department, like, yeah, Rose is good there, but we've seen her out-grappled before. You know, like Tisha had success in the rematch. I think Tisha actually should have beat her in the rematch. You look at the Carolina fight, the clinch work that Carolina put against her. If Whaley gets a hold of you that way, that's big trouble. You know, Carolina had great success with the knees. Whaley will mix in elbows. I just think that Whaley's her power and strength accompanied by the accuracy and technique of everything that she does, it's just going to be too much. Like, I think Rose will be competitive and have moments for sure, but like when it comes to dishing out damage, man, look at the Joanna fight. Few people do it like Whaley does, man. Like, you can land on her, but the strike she throws back is going to be
in that fight.
Yeah, triple the pain. Yeah, she did. But
yeah, she totally dismantled Joanna's face. She didn't look anything near close to what she looks like.
Yeah. So
like Whaley did that.
Exactly. And in terms of who can take more punishment, like we've seen.
I think they both take punishment.
Yeah, they both have pretty well, and you know, Rose has only been knocked out from
other than a freak slam. Yeah,
and then took some very big shots in the last fight against Andrade in the rematch, of course, but you know, that's most of it. I mean, the second Joanna did a lot better clearly than the first fight, but I don't know. We will see. I just think it'll be accumulation, though, man. I got the champ retaining, and still, I'm gonna say 4th or 5th round TKO. I think she will crack it, though. It'll be too much, man. Especially if we don't know yet. But if Whaley is a little bit, maybe not pissed off, but wanting to prove even more of a point than she normally already does, which I'm sure she won't feel affected by that. But hey, it's fun to think. It's fun to imagine. So
yeah, I think that she's pretty headstrong, and she
absolutely.
Ghost Phantom says this is Whaley's time: volume, conditioning, clinch, grappling.
Yep. The combination of it all, it's just insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. She's amazing. Rose says Whaley felt like she didn't fight well against Joanna, so we will see a better Whaley. We hope so.
And that's kind of the thing too that sets apart a lot of these champions, right? These real legit champions they're here for a reason. Is like, okay, that was obviously an awesome fight, but that's because it was competitive and it was close, and the other fighter had success. You shouldn't be happy with that if you want to be your best, right? Like, that clearly wasn't Whaley's best performance. I mean, it was obviously a very goddamn good one, but in terms of, you want to be dominant. The champ wants to look flawless. It wasn't a flawless performance. A very good one. But like, when she has that mentality that, shit, that wasn't very good, I almost lost. Yeah, that's a scary thought too, that shows her she knows improvements can always be made. And it's a little bit, similar to, just that mentality that you need to have. So, yeah, man.
I agree.
So, what's your official pick, Steve? Are you about to piss off the entire group here?
James says, Zhang, there's always someone stronger than you. And I guess that someone would be Amanda Nunez, Valentina Shevchenko. Because
Mengbo.
I'm not sure that any in that division are stronger than Whaley.
Right. Now, good to see Alex dropping in here. Alexander DeJong.
I always look to improve. And
man, good to see you, buddy.
Am I gonna piss off the people? Am I gonna pick Rose Namajunas
after all this time?
After all that we've talked about Whaley, how great she is, am I gonna pick Rose Namajunas? What kind of question is that? Of course I'm not gonna pick Rose Namajunas.
I just had to poke you a little bit. All right, how's Whaley get it done for you?
Oh man, Rose is tough girl, incredibly tough. But I think that Whaley breaks her. Um, she's she's kind of showed that her her mental toughness is might not be up there. She might she might break a little bit. And Whaley, once she's putting on those power shots and stuff, can hurt her, can can damage her mentally. I think that's probably what Whaley does. I think that's I think that's the easiest route for Whaley is to mentally break Rose Namajunas and then finally just put an end to it. Put an end to all the nonsense, the build up. Be like, look,
Yeah.
bitch, I'm here. I'm fucking the champion. Fuck all these other fighters. I'm the champion.
Yeah.
Whaley wins. Whaley wins. In round number 5.
All right, on the same page.
Yep.
We're all on the same page in
Round
this
4 or
one.
5. Rose is a champion, of course, but I do think it goes in championship rounds. Whaley's just tough as fuck, man. So tough.
Phenomenal point from Stamina here.
We got fight of the year from a woman that got about 6 hours sleep in the 3 days that preceded it. What with time zones, etc., Camp Whaley should be otherworldly.
Another thing to point out too always is that whenever there has been kind of a misstep in the preparation or the camp or whatever for Whaley in the UFC, like her lone all of her fights in America, they've gone to decision. And initially, that was when her coach, I can't say his name, but you know who I'm talking about, her main head coach wasn't able to be there for her. And she went to decision rather than finish. And then in the Joanna fight, obviously all that mess. This one, if everything is picture perfect, then that's bad news. That's bad news for anybody standing on the other side. And yeah, James, the Magnum doesn't break. Camp Whaley, Rue loves it. And Ghost, plus we don't know what type of improvements Whaley's made. Oh, I'm sure she's made a whole lot in 365 days. It's going to be scary.
She's had nothing but fucking time
Coach
to
Kai,
train.
yes. Thank you for that, Ghost. Yeah, exactly. No injuries, nothing like that.
No.
Which is she's probably gonna look even more physically imposing than she normally
Can
does.
you
So.
imagine? Man, it's gonna be nice to see.
All right, you guys. We did it. We are here. UFC 261 fight week. Those are the fights that we have.
I think everybody's picking Whaley, right?
Yeah, seems like it. Let us know if you aren't, if you're in
Yeah,
the live comments here, or drop them below
one of
after
you
the show's done.
Nunez to win.
Which
Who
one
has-
of you is Pat Barry watching our show?
Oh, to pick Rose
You
Namajunas.
don't got the balls. All right. I am starving and I need to go to sleep because my flight is very early in the morning and I'm not even fully packed yet. But
Goodness.
all right. Don't forget, you guys, follow us, like, share, and subscribe at Drake Riggs _, at Steve K _MMA, at The Scrap News, all the places. As I just alluded to, I will be in Jacksonville tomorrow for the Fight Week festivities, covering for SCMP MMA, so you can see all the great video content I'll be providing for you over there, and written stuff on the website as well. And you can just find it all in one place, generally at my Twitter, as I just said.
That you're going to be
stuff.
there. Oh my god, this is amazing.
It is going to be crazy, and I don't know if I'm ready just yet, but we're going. So before that, though, you guys, what I got coming up and what has already come up. Dropped today. Spoke with the first ever Chinese champ, the history maker herself, Zhang. caught up with her before the One Empower event. She is super stoked for it. Plenty of great discussion there with her. Check that out. It is out now. Dropped today from MyMMAnews.com. It is on my Twitter, like I said, on my YouTube channel, all that stuff. Jingnan is awesome. I asked her for a prediction on this fight, actually, and she didn't quite give one, but we talked about it very briefly. So check that out. The champ, Zhang Jingnan, first ever MMA champ from China, current one championship, strawweight champion. Getting ready to face Michelle Nicolini next month. And then, of course, caught up with Yang Na. You can check that out. And I also spoke to Alimale, caught up with Alimale, the former champ,
Nice.
Bellator flyweight champ. Yesterday? That was yesterday. And that is probably going to come out next week because I'll be so busy this week. But fucking awesome stuff with Alima, as always. Did a full hour or so with her. Got into so much stuff. Always good times catching up with the Pineapple Princess. But that's the other nickname, right? The Eliminator. So you can look forward to that next week, you guys. And all the great stuff for SCMP. So, and yes, of course, hashtag Kana Watanabe. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, if I should be available to defend my title between the links on Thursday as well. So I forgot to mention that. Kana Watanabe Army, you guys fucking get in there, support me again, defending my title, because I am the champ right now between the links at our first title defense on Thursday, presumably at 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Do you know your opponent?
I don't know yet. I don't know. It doesn't matter. All comers, bring it on. They're fucked. So, we'll see. But anyways.
It should be me.
That would be hilarious. So, all right. That is all I got.
Drake would break. Drake would break.
Right. We already go at it every week. I don't need to face you there. All right, Steve. Take it away, buddy.
So, everybody who shows up on a weekly basis, we appreciate you. Of course, we appreciate you. Without you guys, there is no Drake and I. There is no show. It would be boring as fuck without all of you guys in the comments on a weekly basis. Rain, Ghost Phantom, Stamina, Sammy, Ro, James, Alex was here. Showed up a little bit.
Both Alexes.
Oh, both Alexes. You're right. Yeah. Am I missing anybody?
Say Sammy?
Sammy, I did say.
I always miss. I always miss them.
Rain? I think I said Rain already though. But
Ghost, Rue.
Yeah. I said him. I got everybody. I got the crew. And whomever else is watching us, not live, or if you are watching us live and not commenting, thank you. We appreciate you as well. Until next week, oh my goodness, we got a great card this coming weekend. Cannot wait. Have fun, Drake. Stay safe. Y'all stay safe as well. Until next week, peace.
Peace.